Good morning to all. Welcome back. So now we are in the class of the modern political analysis. We are discussing the meaning of the modern political analysis. Previous class we discussed some basic points, that is meaning of political analysis. That means political analysis can be defined as the various methods, theories, concepts, and approaches employed by a political scientist to summarize and explain various themes, political experience, events, political issues, and phenomena. And we discussed in previous class development of political analysis, that is, the dating of political analysis can be traced back to the works of Greeks and other Western philosophers. In the 19th century, political analysis relied on the historical, descriptive, and political narrations. The work of Aristotle also revealed primitive empirical analysis, especially his classification of authority. However, in the 20th century, new development emerged. And one more point, what we discussed in previous class, importance and forms of political analysis. According to Osage, political analysis has three main goals. Number one is to know what is important in politics. Number two is what is valuable. The third one is to know what is real or true by systematically subjecting our guesses, impressions, popular belief, even rumors to verification. So these are the three basic principles or forms, important forms of political analysis. And one more thing we discussed in previous class, types of political analysis: normative, semantic, empirical, and policy analysis. We are discussing major schools of political analysis. So in this aspect, in previous classes, we discussed what is classical political analysis, what is liberal political analysis. So now we have to see what is Marxist political analysis. We have to see. Liberal individualistic political theory was challenged by Marx, Engels, and their subsequent followers in the latter half 19th century by their scientific socialism. While socialism extends back for beyond Marx's time, it was the he who brought together many ideas about the ills of society and gave them a great sense of urgency and relevancy. No political theory can ignore the study of Marxist history, politics, society, and economics. The knowledge of Marxism has put us in a better position to analyze the socio-economic and developments. Marxism introduced a new concept of philosophy conceived as a way to the liberation of mankind. The task of knowledge, according to Marx, is not only to understand the world but also to change the material conditions of human life. He insisted that the salvation is to be found by man in his world itself, and it laid on the revolutionary reconstitution of the present society and the establishment of a socialist society. His complaint against liberal capitalism was that it was a civilization of property, inequality, and family fortune for a few and most degrading conditions for the vast number of people. Socialism was an attempt to secure the necessary, if not sufficient, conditions for the realization of emancipation of mankind. It is the establishment of a society on rational basis, a society in which man shall not be exploited by man, a society in which men will have the full opportunity to develop their potentialities and personality, a classless and stateless society in which the free development of each shall be the condition for the free development of all. Marxist political theory is a theory of social change and revolutionary reconstitution of society. In this context, Marxism consists of three interrelated elements. One is an examination and critique of the present and past societies. This is known as dialectical materialism and historical materialism. Second one is the notion of an alternative model against a society based upon exploitation and divided among classes. The new society is based on the common ownership of the means of production in which human potential will be allowed to freely develop its manifold facets. Such a society will be classless and stateless. How to being about such a society? Third one is how to being about such a society. Though there was a general agreement that capitalist system was unstable and crisis ridden, but the advent of socialism required a revolutionary action by the proletariat whose growing improvement will lead to revolution and establishment of a socialist state and society. The central themes of Marxist political theory are mode of production, class division. Class division means rich and poor, haves and have-nots, owners and worker, masters and slaves, like this. And class struggle and property relations, revolution, and state as an instrument of class domination. Marxism also examined the nature of rights, liberty, equality, justice, and democracy, but came to the conclusion that in a class divided society, they are the prerogatives of the propertied class. Real liberty and equality can be achieved only in a classless and state-led society, according to the Marx. Thus, whereas liberal political theory was associated with the establishment of modern liberal capitalist democratic state, Marxist political theory of preoccupied itself with the establishment of a socialist state through revolutionary action. Marxism as the economic, social, and political theory and practice originating in the works of Marx and Engels has been enriched by a number of revolutionaries, philosophers, academicians, and politicians. It has also been subject to a variety of interpretations. In the 20th century, the prominent contributors to the Marxist thought have been Lenin, Bukharin, Stalin, Rosa Luxemburg, Gramsci, Lukács, Austro-Marxist, the Frankfurt School, Herbert Marcuse, the New Left theorists, Euro-communists, Mao Zedong, and host of others. After the First World War, Marxism was highly deterministic and represented a philosophy of socio-political changes which culminated in the Russian Revolution. However, during the interwar period and the post-Second World War, Marxism developed more as a critique of present socio-economic and cultural conditions than a philosophy of revolutionary action known as contemporary Marxism. It has been more concerned with the problems of superstructure, culture, art, aesthetics, ideology, alienation, etc. So another one is empirical scientific political analysis. There is another kind of political theory developed in America, popularly known as the empirical scientific political theory. The study of political theory through scientific method instead of philosophical and based upon facts rather than values has long history, but the credit for making significant developments in this connection goes to the American social scientists. In the early 20th century, Max Weber, Graham Walsh, and Bentley gave an empirical dimension to the study of political theory and advocated that its study should be based upon facts only. Another writer, George Catlin, emphasized that the study of political theory should be integrated with other social sciences such as sociology, psychology, anthropology, etc. However, it was during the interwar period and after the Second World War that a new theory was developed by the political scientists of Chicago University, such as Charles Merriam, Harold Laswell, Gosnell, and others like David Easton Stott Rice. Weaver K. and David Apter. The new political theory shifted emphasis from the study of political ideals, values, and institutions to the examination of politics in the context of individual and group behavior. The new approach advocated that the method of studying should be through the behavior of human beings as members of political community. The task of political theory is to formulate and systemize the concept of science of political behavior in which emphasis is placed on empirical research than on political philosophy. A political theorist should clarify and criticize systems of concepts which have empirical relevance to political behavior. According to Easton, systematic theory corresponds at the level of thought to the concrete empirical political systems of daily life. Empirical scientific theory is different from the classical tradition in many respects. Firstly, The scientific theory believes that the political theory is to order, explain, and predict the phenomena and not to evaluate it. Nor is it concerned with the creation of grand political utopias. What is worth noting is that the relation with philosophy is completely served. Political theory is meaningful to the point or degree it is verifiable. Secondly, the study of political theory should be value free. It should concern itself with facts only. The task of theory is to analyze the present political phenomena and not with the evaluation of what is happening and what should happen. The concern of political theory should not be with who rules, should rule, or why, but with only who does rules and how. It should focus attention on the study of political behavior of man, group, and institutions, irrespective of their good or bad character. Thirdly, practical theory is not only concerned with the study of the state, but also with the political process. Fourthly, scientific theory does not believe in critical function, that is, it should not question the basis of the state, but should be concerned with maintaining the status quo, stability, equilibrium, and harmony in the society. Fifthly, it developed many new concepts borrowed from other social sciences such as power, elite, decision making, policy making, functioning of structures, political system, political culture, etc. Because of too much stress on science, value free politics, methods, and its failure to study the pressing social and political issues, empirical political theory began to attract criticism after 1960s. The behavioral revolution announced by David Easton laid stress emphasis on scientific method and technique and showed greater concern for the public responsibilities of political theory. The debates in 1970s result in the frank admission that there are segments of human life relating to values or purposes embodied in any political structure that were either ignored or overlooked by the behavioral studies. The core issues of political theory, such as liberty, equality, justice, were taken up once again by John Rawls, Robert Nozick, Habermas, and others, which signaled once again the revival of normative political theory. This new revival is termed as contemporary political theory. Yes, thank you. Next class, we discuss what is contemporary political theory or analysis. So, thank you.